Hello, I'm Kalju Priilaid from Word of Faith Christian Center, Port Elizabeth. And today I'm reading from Acts 9, and it talks about Paul. Paul got converted after 3 days of blindness, and Ananias led him to the Lord, baptized him, and laid hands for the infilling of the Holy Spirit. And Paul's ministry started. And that was about the end of Ananias. We don't hear much about him again. But Paul went off a while into the wilderness, and he grew up in the things of the Lord. And then he came to Jerusalem to be involved with that. But when he got to Jerusalem church, they all still remembered his history, and they remembered what a thug he was, and they were apprehensive, and they didn't want him nearby. So Paul was being pushed off all the time. Nobody wanted him. They thought he might have been deceitful, and at the wrong moment he'll jump up and kill them all. And so he was being kept at a distance. But then up rose a man called Barnabas. He wasn't even one of the 12. He was one of the 40 maybe, or 70. And up came Barnabas. And Barnabas was led of the Lord. And he came to Paul. And he chatted with Paul. And he brought Paul in to the brotherhood there in Jerusalem. And he introduced them to him. And they then accepted him. And he had quite a time debating with all the guys in the synagogue. And eventually they said, Paul, you need to move on a little bit. And they then took him and sent him off to the revival in Tarsus. But then, Barnabas, having taken Paul, after he got converted by Ananias, Barnabas took him, and Barnabas walked with Paul. We find the Acts is full of Barnabas and Paul, Barnabas and Paul, and eventually it's Paul and Barnabas, Paul and Barnabas, and eventually just Paul. Paul had a father. He needed a father, and Barnabas was such a good man. He mentored Paul until Paul was thoroughly mature and could run the race himself. So it's not strange that you find somebody who you don't really know jumping up and taking you where there's rejection and where there is doubt and you don't know where it goes. Somebody will pop up and become a father figure to you. Ananias got him converted. Paul took hold of him, walked with him. Barnabas took hold of Paul, shall I say, and walked with him and led him, encouraged him, mentored him. And Paul then went on and turned the world upside down and wrote nearly half of the New Testament. We need to know big things will happen, but they start small. If you find someone that's struggling or new in the faith, take hold of them. Be a father to them. Mentor them. Talk with them. Pray for them. Encourage them. That's God's will. Not all of us are called to be apostles and pastors and evangelists and prophets, but we're all called to be brothers. We're all called to be witnesses. All called to lead people to the Lord and guide them and lead them. So put your hand up and say, Lord, I'm ready. If you want me to look after a father, some small person, that's also okay. Or little family next door, that's also okay. But Lord, I'm ready. Whatever you want, I'm ready. Because you love me, I want that love to be shared with others, like Barnabas. So be ready. You'll see things will start to happen and blessings come together with it. Be blessed. Have a nice day.